Hi everyone, my name is Ibrahim Al-Ghamdi. Today I'm going to present the assignment 3 with my group member who is Sai. This assignment about the future technology of learning, Brainprints. Here's our agenda. I'll go through the agenda of this assignment real quick, starting with different learning style. I'll move to the different learning development application based on learning style. Then I will show the comparison of different learning style and their applications with the help of concept map. After that, I will move to the introduction of the new emerging learning technology, that is Brainprints. Following the short introduction, we will be looking at its benefits, drawbacks, and risk involved. After that is conclusion and references. This slide about the primary learning style. Here is the quick overview of the different learning style we adopt: active experiment and read or write, auditory and visual learning. This method will be discussed in detail on concept map. Application development methodologies. Some is with different application development methodologies. I have discussed these two methodologies in my concept map. One is game-based learning and second is agile methods. Concept map for comparison of learning style and technology. To get detailed description of different learning styles and methodology, let's move on to the concept map. This is the concept map, which has detailed comparison of learning style and methodologies. Starting with the first style, which is active experimentation. It's help the learner to actively participate in different experiments, which leads to some result. The user learns the facts by performing the experiments. This style makes learner learn from the result his own experiment and the experiment done by fellow learners. Second style is read or write. The name is quite self-explanatory. It goes along with reading and write the text, taking notes and memorizing it. The evaluation of learning is done by taking tests and quizzes. Moving on the next style, that is auditory learning. It involves the listening of the learning content and then repeating loud to the presenter, which help the learner retain it for long. Last style I discussed is visual learning. As the name explains, it has something to do with visuals. The learner sees the images and other learning materials to grasp the information. The visual aids can be graphs, charts, or images. Let's jump to the learning methodologies. Starting with the game-based learning, it's iterative and cognitive methodology, which get the learner play some games and learn from it. It falls under the category of active experimentation and visual learning. The second methodology is agile methodology, which is develop the software in a very short time. IT goes with face-to-face communication to get the requirements and information and very less documentations. This slide is an introduction to Brainprints. Now let me introduce to an emerging technology for learning, that is Brainprints. It is an innovative technique which helps to find out the activity of brain. Since human brains are unique in its structure and processing, each individual reacts differently to stimuli. The stimuli in this case can be an image. By showing different images to the subject, activity is recorded with the help of EEG receptor. This recorded activity is unique for every person, hence can be potential replacement of other biometric identification methods. To see why it can replace other methods, Now let's move to the benefits it offers. The first benefit is its performance. This technique is presented by scientists in Binghamton University in New York. They tested this methodology over more than 15 volunteers. The results were amazing as it gave 97% of the time accurate and expected output. Other than that, since it detected the brain activity, the response time is real fast, which makes it better than other biometric identification methods. Now moving on the second criteria, which is capacity. Other than the identification methods, this technique is believed to be an efficient way of studying brain activity in different parts. The neuron connection patterns of every person, or which part is more strong on the basis of response on different images. This information makes potential solution for cognitive studies and finding about learning orientations.
Well, thank you, Ibrahim. Now I'll talk about slide criteria security. Before I talk about this slide, I need to say something about fingerprint scanning and how it works. Well, coming to the fingerprint scanning, there are two basic jobs for that. It needs to get images of your fingers, and it needs to determine whether the pattern of ridges and the valleys in the image matches the pattern of ridges and valleys in previously scanned image. So when we scan our fingerprint, the scanner will generate a unique binary code which is related to our fingerprint. So it is so easy for people who can hack your phone and copy this code. Well, coming to this thing, the Brainprints, our reactions of the brain when looking at the different images are captured, which is hypothetical for the hacker to get all the details when different images are shown. Now moving to the next slide, there is a fourth criteria which makes it better method than previous method. It is changeable, or in other words I can say it can be cancelled at any moment. The reaction to an image can be easily cancelled and replaced with the reaction of other images, while the other methods like fingerprint scanners are non-cancelable. If any mishap or accident, anything happens, like the person have his finger cut off, there is no way to cancel the security check. Along with various benefits, since this methodology is still in its developing phase, there are also some risks and drawbacks attached to it. This technology takes hours to record the brain activity, and the equipment used in this technology is very expensive and time-consuming activity. The major disadvantage is some health issue risk associated it due to the insertion of electrodes and scanning process of brain. Anyway, as I mentioned, equipment used is quite expensive. It is not accessible for the common people, which is also another issue for now. So these are the drawbacks as its present phase. It's not fully developed, so it will take time to overtake other methods. Finally, to conclude, I would consider all its benefits like performance, capacity or security, etc. makes it a potentially replacement of existing biometric identification methods with some of the drawbacks associated with like its accessibility and health hazards. It can be used for the special security zone like military zones for new. It's not only a way to new biometric identification, but I say also leads to the new way to finding the people's mental state through cognitive learning. All these features make its bright future in the industry is clear. Here are the references I used to study this topic, and thank you everyone.